Ready for action.
Good to go? Yeah, I love Dragon Ball Z. I grew up, I mean, shit tattooed on my
See it
hand.
on the computer.
Everything, bro.
Yeah, this right here actually was like part of the beginning of Darius' journey as a coach and fighter.
What, Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was one of the big things we use to I use as a motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to Darius.
What do you do? Like you pulled up an episode or something like that? And
Well, actually, he kept talking about Dragon Ball Z one time before we went to probably the first tournament we went to, and I was just trying to get him to have a little more faith in himself and stuff. And I was like, "Well, what's your favorite episode of Dragon?" I don't watch it, but I remember my brother used to watch it all the time, so I do listen. And I was like, "Yeah, I don't watch them cartoons and shit like that." Like I said, I didn't grow up really with TV like that, so
yeah.
I was like, "What's your favorite episode?" Because I remember my brother used to watch it all the time. Although I don't watch the cartoon, I listen. Very analytical person. I was like, this ain't no damn cartoons. It's very motivational. A lot of it's 100%. Real motivational. It's like growing up, like believing in yourself and trust and faith and stuff like that. So I asked him what was his favorite episode of Dragon Ball Z. And he sent me an episode. So I watched it.
Which one was it?
I don't remember. You have to ask him.
Damn,
it's on his it's actually on his screensaver of his phone to this day.
Really?
Yeah. What happened is I was at a banquet for my son's basketball game. You know, banquets are shit. He's just there for nothing. A couple of trophies just for participating.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was watching the episode, and every time they said something positive, believing in yourself, pushing yourself, trusting yourself, I would just write it. And instead of saying Goku, or put Darius' name in it. So I ended up sending him this long ass message, basically the whole episode. But it was just all the positive quotes that I heard. I sent it to him in a text message. I inserted his name instead of Goku's name for all of it. And to this day, it's his screensaver on his phone.
That's crazy, bro. But there's a difference though. This is it's different because it's an anime. Yeah, anime is like grown shit. Like, yeah, you probably think it's a cartoon.
In my mind, it's all cartoons.
Yeah, but this shit is like they have some crazy ass animes out there that touch on some dark ass topics. Yeah. Like, I don't think this shit's for kids. I don't think like maybe there's some Dragon Ball Z. I grew up watching it when I was a kid, but for the most part, I feel like most of them are like
grew up watching it without real understanding.
Yeah,
so which allow you to go back as an adult and watch it and really be like, "Fuck."
I still watch it. I feel like if I watched it as an adult,
I missed all that when I was a kid.
Yeah. If I watched it as an adult for the first time, I don't know if I would have fucked with it. But because I watched it as a kid and like it connected with me so much, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And me and my sister got into it together, so we would watch that shit all the time. And it was just like, you know, super different for us.
I was already like extra grown by the time I saw it. That I've been a kid with kids.
Yeah.
So I didn't really get to have a lot of that. Even before that, I never really had much of just a fun, laughing, loving childhood. So as I got older, then I joined the military at 18. I had my kids and stuff like that. I'm like, I ain't watching no fucking cartoons.
Yeah.
I don't got time for that.
What branch were you in the military?
In the Army.
Oh, okay. How long did you stay in there?
9 years and 8 months.
Damn. Did you ever have to go do a tour in like Afghanistan or anything like that?
Iraq, yeah.
Damn. How was that?
15 funky ass months.
Did you ever see like live action and?
You know, it's. I probably talk about the war in a different way than what you expect. Like for myself, I always like to be realistic about things, and a lot of people come back from Iraq and they stretch the truth a little bit. But some people really go through hell there. But most people don't. But every soldier that goes to Iraq, they come back with a story of turmoil and turbulence and how bad it was. And but the reality of it is, that's just like being here in America. We have a good life. But if you go looking for people, there's some people going through shit right now. You know what I mean? And it's the same in Iraq. Like for me, job I was doing, the place I was at, the situation that I was in, I wasn't out running in no fucking buildings every day. I wasn't getting shot at and bombed at every day. I wasn't out there struggling to have meals, eating MREs every day. I didn't go through all that, not on a consistent basis. Did we have attacks on the base? People trying to bomb the base or whatever, you feel the vibrations and the explosions, et cetera, et cetera. Fuck yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, we did. But I never stood face to face with a person pointing a gun at me, shooting. You know what I mean? So I can't tell you what it was like for the people that had to go through that stuff. But a lot of people don't go through that. Yeah. Even though that's the stigma with the wars. Everybody goes to war. You think about the movies. The movies aren't going to show you the worst parts of it. They don't show you the good parts of it. And I actually enjoyed a lot of my time in Iraq.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was the first time. Like I said, I've had kids since I was a kid.
Got a break.
This was the first time I was a young adult. I was 20 years old, 21 years old. No kids, no responsibilities, no nothing. I was like, fuck, I'm free.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was over there in Iraq, probably doing things a 20-year-old would do at home.
Yeah.
You know, like other girls in the army as well. And so I was out there flirting and talking. I was like, this shit feel amazing. I'm just out here I worried about now. And then I was on the biggest base in Iraq. And this also was a joint base with the Air Force. And the Air Force treat their soldiers different than the Army does. So we had the best of everything. We had the best dining facilities. They call them the DFAC cafeteria. We had the best cafeterias. They were open 4 times a day, a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and midnight chow. And they had to have the midnight chow and stuff open because they had people coming in and out of the base at all times of night. So they kept the cafeteria open 4 times a day. And it was the best one in the whole country. So I didn't struggle in it. I had a lot of fun, you know. But for me, when I did started to see shit, it was because I was close to a lot of people I was in the unit with. They were actually truck drivers.
Gotcha.
So every day they were out on the road, in and out every day, in and out every day, in and out every day. And I was like, I'm just sitting here doing fucking nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at people that I like, people that I spent time with when I was at home. I was like, man, send me out. They was like, nah, you don't have no reason to go. I said, yeah, just at least leave one of them back and let them get some fucking rest. Like, y'all send them out every day. So then I did start going out. Then I got to see the shit.
Yeah. You drive past, like, or in the middle of the shit, right? If you're
the scariest part of it is the ride.
Because IEDs, or what is it? IEDs?
IEDs. So like, if you know anything about the one in Iraq, it's not like Vietnam. It's not like face to face combat. It's the threat of you just riding down the street and there go your life.
Yeah.
So a lot of shit they did made no sense. Like once I went out,
we did, or what they did?
We, us, all the smart Americans. So like we would go out on these convoys because we were a transportation unit. So we were responsible for taking food, supplies, things like that from base to base. So while we're out on these convoys, like it's not like America. It's not like a city and then a city. It's in between the cities.
Dirt
it's
roads,
nothing. It's pitch black. Black is the
no
darkest.
Lights, nothing.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So you're riding around with a row of trucks that maybe have 10, 11 lights on each truck. It's like a fucking moving city through the darkness.
That's crazy.
So let's say something happened to one of the trucks. What do? They stop in place. What do? They shut off all the lights as if nobody can see them. Bro, you are moving city through the darkness and you stop and you cut the lights off. Everybody knows where you are. And then now, not only is it dark, like I'm light skinned. I mean, it's so dark, like
can't even see your hand.
I can't see my hand. It's close to my face. And so I'm like, this is some scary shit now. You got us sitting in the dark. I can't see out. I don't know if they can see in. I know for a fact they saw this fucking moving city of lights coming through here. And then on top of that, we dodging potholes and big ass craters in the road as we travel from where they've been blowing the road up. That was the scariest part about Iraq for me. You know, I never had to deal with the actual firefight, gunfight, running the buildings and all of that. But
that's the way I understood it. I never imagined it was like the firefight or anything like that. I feel like as war evolves and as technology evolves, you're going to see less of that actual, man-to-man combat in war because there's so much technology, and not even technology. People have different strategies now. So we're not going to put our people in danger. We're going to attack you when you don't see it coming, and we're going to do it with technology. So we're going to use bombs. We're going to use shit like that. And I always heard IEDs are the worst thing. Like people just lose their lower half of their body and shit.
Yeah, and they were. And And for me, you know, the most highly populated areas for the IEDs was within about 50 yards of security checkpoint.
Like American security checkpoints or Iraqi?
They aren't American security checkpoints. They're supposed to just be security checkpoints, but they're ran by the Iraqi government. Mm-hmm. So what? I mean, you're a smart person. Mm-hmm. Figure out what you think that means.
I would think they're in on it then. Shit.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, how we going to these checkpoints? You're calling it a security checkpoint, but the biggest fucking craters in the dirt.
I like. You could see it from
within eyesight of the gate. Yeah, on either side.
Yeah. Who didn't see them? No one saw them put that shit in the ground.
Dig a big ass hole and put this here. Yeah. And nobody saw it. I was like, this is crazy to me.
Yeah, it's so corrupt though. I mean, it's not even just that. I feel like that's so common. I don't think it's. Yeah. I think it's uncommon for a government to not have corruption like that and shit like that.
Well, it's uncommon for mankind to not have corruption. Mm-hmm. Having to do with government, you can take government away. People are just still going to be corrupt, man. Anything that involves people will at some point become corrupt. Mm-hmm. That's just nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But there's always a root to it. And lately I've been trying to think about what the root is of, because it's not money. Like people say money is the root of all. It's not money. It's something else. It's power, but there's an aspect of power that is what drives people. It's not really, people say money, people say girls, but there's a power aspect that I think is the root of all evil. But it's like, how do you capture that or see that in someone, like negate it or get rid of it
before it gets to that point?
Exactly. Because it's just gonna grow. Like we all have it in us. Like if we have any kind of ambition or drive, the ambition and drive is fueled by, you know, this could lead to me having some form of power, whether that's power over money, power over women, power over people, you know, like it's some sort of power that drives us to success or try different shit.
A lot of it is power, but I think greed also plays a big part in it. Mm-hmm. I think humans have, for whatever reason, always feel the need to have more. Like you think about a simple concept of, like just driving through some place like Houston. For the most part, everybody here has a place to live. Mm-hmm. But every corner you turn, there's a house being built. And you're like, why the hell I keep just building new houses and new houses? I got a better one, cars. I got a better one for your cars. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck do you need to make 1 million, 2 million, 3 million new cars every year? Mm-hmm. Fucking car lasts for years. But they just keep making them.
Because people keep buying them.
Exactly. Yep. So it is an element of greed in there.
Yeah. It's the same people that buys them every time too. Like the ones with the money. Right.
Yeah.
95% of us aren't going to buy those cars.
Now buy a car every 5 or 6 years if you need to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The 5%, they'll buy them all though. That's the thing. Because I've heard some rich people, like I listen to podcasts or shit like that, right? Mm-hmm. And one guy was saying, when I got rich, I got pissed off because all the shit I wanted was sold out. Like all the nice cars sold out, back order. Like you would think that because you have to be rich to afford these certain luxuries that, you know, they'd be available once you get to that certain level. He's like, they're all sold out. I can't even buy the car I want because all these rich motherfuckers just keep buying them.
You ain't the only rich motherfucker once you become rich.
Exactly, bro.
Shit appetizing from the outside.
Yeah. Oh, this.
Surprise guest for the podcast.
So, yeah. It's all good. But I mean, I think you're right. I think greed is probably at the core of humanity in some senses, you know, like it goes back to, I guess, if you believe in the Bible or not, you know, like once Adam and Eve decided to eat the apple, it became our nature to be against God, which is sin, you know, greed.
Yeah.
That shit.
I grew up in the church, mm-hmm. but I'm no big fan of the Bible. Mm. I'm a logical guy, mm-hmm. and if you read the Bible, you know logic out the window. Mm-hmm. So I'm no big fan of it.
So you don't believe that some of that stuff could be real? Because, like, for example, this is not even in the Bible. This is just separate, right? Dragons. I believe dragons were real because there's so many civilizations that have drawn and painted and provided like evidence.
Every cave, every like, pyramid.
They never talked to each other. They didn't like communicate and be like, "Hey, let's make up the story about dragons."
I mean, it's the same concept of that picture you have there. It's it's the Last Supper, and the one big thing about the Last Supper that stands out to me is not Jesus, not the disciples. It's the 3 windows in the back, and the 3 windows in the back.
Why's that?
Because if you ask me about pulling up shit, I got something you can pull up. You can pull up the pyramids of the Aztecs. You can pull up the pyramids of the Africans in Egypt and all of that stuff. And they all possess those, not the pyramids, but they all possess those same 3 windows. On every continent, there's been structures built from way back then that possess those exact same 3 windows.
What's the meaning behind it? Have you ever looked into it?
Don't look into it. But I'm just telling you that those 3 windows stand out to me more than anything in that picture.
Huh. What were the civilizations you said?
Or like, you can pull up the Aztecs, the Mayans, and all of that stuff. You can pull up the stuff on the African continents or whatever. I don't do enough research to care. I can't give you no real details. But after this thing is over, you can look for yourself.
I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Right?
Yeah,
those 3 windows are very prominent in every continent, every civilization. So even with that being said, when you think about the Bible, you go back to the Bible. Like I said, I grew up in the church. It's not like I'm just an adult. Like fuck the church. I grew up in the church. I still support the church and all that stuff as far as my family goes and all that. But I'm not tied into it too deep. And you talk about Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve had 2 sons. Right? What happened with the 2 sons?
One killed the other one.
And what happened to the other son?
He became like a king of a civilization or like a leader of a civilization.
How?
I don't remember how.
Well, I'm just asking you. Just think about it. You got a mother and a father. They have 2 sons, 4 people on earth.
Oh, yeah. You're saying basically he had to have sex with his mom.
No, he didn't, though.
So then God created other people.
He left and came back with a family. So whenever like a lot of stuff in the Bible, when it says the world is, it's just even for us today. Your word is only big as you make it. So even back then when they wrote these stories, no matter how true they are or not true, the world was only their world. But if Cain killed Abel,
where did he go to find a family?
He left and made a family. It's other worlds out there. It's other people out there. It's other things out there.
That's actually very interesting. I never looked at it in that way. You're right, though. Like, where did he find a family from if Adam and Eve were the only 2 people that God created? I see what you're saying now, the illogical or like
so I'm a very logical person.
Yeah.
I never disrespect. My thing about religion is I never disrespect any religion. Because at the end of the day, especially as being a human being, if you were born into a Muslim country, 99% chance you're going to be a Muslim.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter what any Christian says to you. Been spending your whole life being told that this is the way of religion for you, and that's the truth. And then a Christian is going to grow up in a Christian community, Christian home, Christian civilization. That's the truth. And that's where you go to some of these third world countries, they have their own versions of the truth of whatever religion is. They might just be, when you say the Son of God, they might just actually worship the actual Son. You know what I mean? So I don't talk bad about any religion. I think it's very much a lot of truth in every religion. And they all actually have a lot of parallels. We just tend to change them how we need to. That's why it's a Baptist church on one side of the street and a Catholic on the other. Y'all say y'all serve the same God. Why wouldn't it just be one church and all people come together? But people congregate in the church into which serves their purpose. So
I think that just goes to me, that shows me the word inclusive is just a fallacy. Like that people just throw that word around because it's bullshit. Because if you look at establishments, exactly like you just said, Christianity, they further segmented themselves and continue to
further
to like spread apart from each other rather than just stay under the banner of Christianity, which means Christ follower. Like a Christian translates out to Christ follower. That's all we should be. You know, I call myself a Christian. I'm not on to all these denominations and stuff like that. I'm like, man, I believe in Jesus Christ, and you know, that's all it is for me. That's it. I believe in Jesus. I don't need to know all these other stuff. I don't need to pray to bishops. I don't need to, pray to Mary. I don't need to do all that stuff. I want to talk to Jesus. I'll talk to Jesus.
That's what I'm gonna holler at. I'm gonna holler at my man.
Exactly. Like,
and even in the Bible, it tells you that to pray in the closet, like pray alone.
Yeah.
You don't not to go to the church and
flex it.
Talk to another man and be like, I need you to pray for me. Like, no, go to the dark. Go in that dark closet. Close the door. Talk to God. And so, like for me, I really believe in my head that like this is God for me, right? Anything that you want to be true, you'll make it true right here in your mind. It doesn't matter what it is. So that's why I believe in manifestation and talking and saying things out loud. If you tell yourself something enough, it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. Your ass will start to believe it. You know what I mean? And I think that was like, since we got boxing gloves here, I think that was one of the most important things about someone like Muhammad Ali. Man said he was the greatest before he ever done anything to be the greatest. And so by the time he did start to accomplish things, everybody was like, he said, I'm the greatest so much. People are like, yeah, he's the greatest. Even to this day, it's still an argument. But if you just look back at his accolades and what he did nothing no better than anybody else, really. And he struggled often throughout his career as a boxer. But because of his impact on society and on people, and he deemed him the greatest of all time. And
I think that's huge in boxing, man. Like, you got to believe in yourself. Every professional that's made it to the top level has always said that. It's like, man, I believed in myself, and that's the only reason I'm here. Like,
confidence, man.
It doesn't matter if you're like objectively not that good or objectively really good. I mean, it doesn't matter a little bit, but the confidence is what's going to get you to that level. I firmly believe that too, man. It's not just boxing, but in life, in all things in life, for sure. Yeah. And when you talk about athletes, like the best basketball player I ever saw, he's still at home right now. The fastest person I ever saw line up from light pole to light pole, he's at home right now. You know what I mean? The best football player I ever saw step on a football field, he's at home right now. So the greatest player of anything, the greatest athlete of anything, he's probably never even made it to the point of getting a chance to become the greatest because of life, because of circumstances, because of whatever, or because of just lack of belief. Exactly.
You know what I mean? But so that's confidence, a big thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that Darius had mentioned, is like he didn't believe, people were telling him he was good, but he didn't believe it. Yeah. And then when he believed it, he said he felt the difference, you know?
And it circles back, right? Yeah. The same thing I was saying about this. I told you, like, the first, his screensaver is a conversation that we had. It's not a conversation that we had. It's a translation of a Dragon Ball Z episode that I sent to him that was strictly about nothing more than believing in yourself. And even after that, he still kind of struggled a little bit. And I remember we went to Ohio. That's the first tournament I went to Darius with. We went to Ohio. And he won his first 2 fights. Then he lost his 3rd fight against Joshua Edwards. Joshua Edwards happened to be right here from Houston as well, right? It was a close fight, split decision, 3-2, one way or the other. And I feel like he won. A couple of people feel like he lost, obviously the judges. So 3-2. So I couldn't complain about it because it was a close fight. I thought Darius won it. Yeah. And leaving that fight, I remember Darius, he went back. I was in a different hotel than him and his brother. He went back to his own hotel, and then a little bit later, he came over to my hotel. And he said, you know what, D? I'm a bad motherfucker. And I said, what'd you say? He said, I'm a bad motherfucker. And that was when I knew right then. I was like, okay, he just turned the corner. Yeah. And the irony of it is, that was my first time going to a boxing tournament with him. And up until that point, I hadn't done anything to help him be better. I didn't want to do the shit.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. Like, how did he pull you from your career to now?
There was no career for me. There was no career for me. My brother passed away 2018. I was boxing at the time, but I'm medically retired from the military. So for the most part, I have enough money coming in that I don't have to work for anybody. So anything that I do is because I want to. Yeah. And that's just what it's going to be. So at the time, I was still boxing, and I was a professional boxer myself. I had a fight scheduled for September of 2018, but my brother passed away in August. And my brother was the closest person to me in my life. So once that happened, I was struggling. And I ended up coming to the gym maybe like 2 weeks after the funeral. I got a fight in a couple of weeks. Yeah. So I came to the gym and I actually sparred Darius. He hit me with everything he threw. And because it's Darius and he a nice guy and we had a good relationship, we had sparred maybe 1 round. And Darius was like, man, you need to get out of the ring. I was like, nah, I'm good. He's like, nah, you're not good. And I was like, nah, I'm good. And really, my brother, I never had a real coach. I never really had a real trainer or any of that. My brother was the voice in my head. So when I first tried to get back in the ring, that's all I could hear. And it kept me from responding to anything. So Darius could do whatever he wanted. But because it's Darius, and he's a nice guy, he didn't try to take advantage of me. He's like, I remember you got me when I first started. I'm going to get your ass back. He just like, nah, you need to get out of the ring. So I got out of the ring that day. I left the gym. I never came back. And then months and months went by. Maybe like 6, 7, 8 months went by. Then Darius actually came to my house. Like, man, I need you to train me. I'm at the house. I'm drunk. I'm drunk every day. I'm really trying my best to. I ain't gonna kill myself, but I was looking for it. I wasn't gonna put no gun to my head, but all I did was drink and cook every day, and spend time with my kids. That was it. So I was getting fat, unhealthy, drunk every single day. And Darius stayed way in Rose Sharon, and I stayed up in the fucking Woodlands, like an hour apart. Maybe more than that if it's traffic. Darius was finishing up his nursing degree in college, and so he got to get up in the morning, go to the gym with his brother at 5 o'clock in the morning. He leave from there. He go to clinicals all day. I was like, if you want me to train, you got to come to my house. Cause I'm just gonna sit here and drink, right?
Tell you what to do.
So he get up in the morning, go to the gym with his brother, 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever time they go. He leave there. He go to clinicals for however many hours to go finish his nursing degree. He leave there. He drive all the way to my house, and I'm like, okay, since you here, I got something for you. And it's the middle of the summer. I take his ass to the track. It's hot outside, and I run him to death. Up and down the bleachers. After that, exercise on the track. He still, okay, I got something for you. Put him back on the track. And he didn't know it at the time, but I just really was trying to get him to stop coming to my house.
Yeah, that's like some movie shit, bro.
I'm like, I don't want to do this shit, right? And so it's not like we're not working on it like, let's work on some boxing. It was no boxing related. It was strictly like, I'm going to kill you, and you're going to stop coming. So while he out here running and sweating and hurting, I got me a bottle in my hand, and I'm like, yep, again. All right, 9 minutes on the bleachers, let's go. And it's like, he kept coming. Like we would work out in the middle of that fucking heat. We go back to the house. He like, man, you mind if I just take a nap on the couch? Because he exhausted. That's my plan. Be tired. Stop coming up here. It's a long-ass ride. Why you want to come up here anyway? But he showed up every day.
That's like some anime shit, bro. Like, you love anime, because that's literally I can't remember the exact anime, but there was a character that went to like this old martial arts instructor or sensei, whatever, like the best. He was the best of the best, but he's old, retired, senile, doesn't want to fuck with nobody. Do this. He's sitting in like a cabin in the mountains or some shit, just chilling. The kid goes up to him and like, I want you to train me. Like, I need you to train me. And he's like, man, get the fuck out of here, kid. Like, I ain't gonna train you. And then he won't leave. So then the guy starts making him do shit, and it's killing him, like crushing him. But he comes back every day, like Band-Aids, scratches and shit, and he's like right back, the same position every single day. That's crazy, man. But that's dedication too.
But that's how we started. And at the time, I didn't think about it, and he didn't either. It wasn't intentional, but he probably, more or less, he probably saved my life, because I was trying to kill myself without killing myself. I had too many responsibilities to sit here and be like, I'm gonna end my life. I had kids, I had people that love me. I ain't gonna just kill myself.
But you were like there,
I was done with life. You know what I mean? And he gave me something to do. And at the time, that wasn't something to do. I still was just trying to get rid of him. But when we went to Ohio, one thing I've always done is take care of the people that I care about. And when I went to Ohio with Darius, I knew in my heart that I hadn't tried to help him. He was in shape. He was fucking in shape, that's for sure. I haven't tried to help him be a better fighter.
You were just trying to get him gone.
And so I even told him, like, man, why don't you take a real coach with you to Ohio? He was like, nah, I trust you. I want you to be there. So I was like, all right, I'll be there. I went, and when he lost, that shit hurt me so bad. And it didn't hurt me that he lost. It hurt me that he lost, and I knew that I hadn't helped him. So when we came back from Ohio, that's when I got on the phone with him. And they had one more chance to make it. It was a qualifiers out in California. And he was talking about it was too soon. He didn't have the money. He didn't know if he could go. I was like, look, man, if you want to go, we can figure it out, whatever. Talked about some things. Then everything went into motion, and he got his brother involved, and his brother got the company involved, and the money got raised and all of that stuff. So he was like, yeah, D, we're going to go to L.A. And I was like, look, man, if we're going to do this shit, we got to do it for real. Say, I promise you from now on, if this is what you really want to do and you really trust me, I'll give you everything I got. Mm-hmm. That's when we actually started this journey that we on now. It's drugged me into this chapter of my life, which is making me do more than I would like to have done. Yeah, because it's turned into a job now. Yeah, it's turned. Don't call it a job because I quit. If you call it a job, if you call it a job, I quit today. I'll walk out on everybody if you call it a job. But I tell you, I never have another job. But it's something I enjoy, and the only reason I'm really doing it is because of him. So I appreciate that for sure. And
how did the rest of the team get on board then after that? Like, how did everyone else start joining, like Zach and Martell and stuff?
And Darius done good things. Darius created the path. You know, we went to LA. We did what we needed to do. We came back. We went to Louisiana. He was number 8 seed out of 8. He was last, basically. So he had the toughest road to the championship. His first fight was against number 1. He beat him. Second fight was against number 2. He beat him. And then he beat everybody, and he won. And once he became number 1 in the country, I still wasn't coaching anybody because I didn't even call myself a coach. Even when I was with Darius, people were like, oh, you Darius' coach? I'm like, no, that's Darius. And I fuck with him. And Darius be like, man, that's my coach. I'm not your coach. I'm just here to help you.
Yeah.
You know, like even now I still have a hard time. They be like, you the coach? I'm like, no, I ain't nobody's coach. I'm just really more like a mentor and a guide. And that come from maybe my own mentality from the way I was raised or whatever. I don't like being possessive about people. And even when I was fighting, if somebody be like, yeah, this is my fight, I'm like, no, I'm Darnell. And you are Jason. You know what I mean? I appreciate the help you're doing, but I'm my own man. And so that's why I try to instill in them. Like, I appreciate the respect out of it. I'm like, no, you responsible for whoever you become. I'm only responsible for trying to help you get to where you're going.
Yeah.
So don't ever belittle yourself and tell me that you got to a place because of me, because no matter what I ask you to do, if you don't do it, it won't get done. So the work that you put in, all the time and the hours you put in, that's what's going to make you successful.
I feel like you have a lot of peace with that. Like that, I feel like that mentality probably gives you a lot of peace because you're not like you said, not possessive. You're just like, I God put me in your life pretty much to help you out
as much as I can.
Yeah, but you're the one ultimately that's going to decide how far you go.
Yeah. And it's like Darius used to have a hard time. At first, he'll be like, I'll be like, man, he'll be like, I'm somewhere. This guy want to train me. I'm like, fucking train with him. But a lot of coaches like, no, don't train my fighter. Don't touch my fighter. But it ain't your fighter. It's a person. And they need to be the most well-equipped person they can be. Now, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
So, like, even you can come to the gym and say, I want to teach Darius something. I tell Darius, go fucking train with Luke. What you going to learn from Luke? Don't know. Could be something that help you. It could be something that help you, or it could be something that you might try to teach him something. He might try it. He saw it work for somebody else, and he be like, "Nah, that shit ain't for me." But either way, you learn something.
100%.
Either learn what to do or what not to do. But either way, you learn something. So, like the way I look at it is like, yeah, I'm always be willing to be there and be the head of the snake, more or less. But you're responsible for the direction you take, and any person or any entity that you feel can bring or add something to you, take advantage of that.
Yeah.
That's not solely my responsibility, and I don't want it to be because then I'm responsible for too much. I can't teach you something I don't know. I might know more than you in many areas in life, but there's certain areas in life that you better understand and you can better give to him than I can. So I'm like, take everything you can from everybody you can.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you always have to make a decision who you want to be there when that time comes, but I got no contracts with none of them.
Yeah.
I got no like, y'all owe me this much money for none of that. I would literally show up and do it because I just enjoy helping them all. But back to where it started at, the whole how the rest of the people got involved is what you asked. It was all just because of Darius. I met Zach because of Darius up in Killeen. I met Darius and Zach in Killeen before they ever came to Houston. And I met Zach. He came over the same way I met Darius to spar. You've seen Zach and you see me. And this is a big version of me. I wasn't this fucking big, but I used to spar with Zach. I used to spar with Zach. I never knew Zach personally, but we sparred and stuff like that. And him and Darius are close. So eventually I contacted Zach to come down here and spar with another heavyweight. He was like, no, I don't know, because he was just beginning. The person I was trying to get him spar was Travis Kaufman. At the time, I think Travis was like 32-1 or 32-2 or whatever. So the numbers look lopsided as hell, but I'm like, man, I seen you fight. You can handle it. Yeah. So he came down. He got in with Travis. You know, Travis beat him up a little bit, but it wasn't nothing near like what he thought.
Travis has been on like pretty big pay-per-view cards, right? I think I've seen him before.
Yeah, Travis Kaufman. Yeah. He fought he fought Luis Ortiz and he fought Otto Wallin and he fought Chris Areola and stuff like. So he was up there.
So he's like ranked like top 10.
He was. He was. He don't box anymore. He got his own things going on now, but he don't box anymore. So, but Travis was the one who I convinced Zach to come down for. So after that, Zach started coming down every blue moon, like once a month or once every 2 months. I never had a personal conversation with Zach or nothing. But the more he came down, the more I threw him in there and tried to get him in there with people that was better than him or more experienced than him or whatever. And then at some point I realized, I'm like, dude, you got everything it takes to be good at this. But he was like, man, I got my house, I got my job, I got all of these things. I'm like, listen, I know you don't know me like that, but if you want to chase the dream, bro, you need to move to Houston because you got everything it takes to be great in the sport. But if you keep just coming down here for 2 or 3 days every month or two, it's never going to work out. I said, you're going to have regrets later in life. He thought about it for a while, and then we had a conversation or two. And at this point, I still don't know Zach, and Zach don't know me. But I see something in Zach. So if at some point he decided, he was like, look, man, let me get all my shit together, and then I'll make a decision. So Zach went, he worked, he saved money, he paid off all his bills, all the adult shit he should do. Then he was like, I'm ready. I was like, shit, come down whenever you're ready. His job agreed to let him walk away for like a year or something like that. But then when it was time to let him walk away, they was like, nah, never mind.
He's gone.
You got to stay here. He was like, fuck it, quit. I got a dream to chase, you know, and he didn't know me and I didn't know him, but he put his trust in me just, I don't know, off of faith, I guess. And he saved his money, quit his job, and as soon as he quit his job and got ready to come down here, he caught COVID. Not the mini version of COVID.
Bad version.
Hospitalization kind of COVID. Damn. He lost like 40 pounds kind of COVID. And on bed rest. Talking about the boy going back and forth to the hospital for backs, but he coughing so much that he pulling muscles in his back.
Damn.
And so he just quit his job.
Caught that shit.
Caught COVID. Can't come to do what he said he was coming to do. Yeah. So he was out for like a little bit over a month. Then at some point I talked to him and we was talking a little bit. He was like, man, I can't even run 1 mile. I can't even run a couple of blocks. I said, man, it doesn't even matter. Like, just come down. We'll put you in the gym. Take your time. Get your health back.
At this time, were you already at Four Corners or were you somewhere else?
No. I was over at O Athletic at the time, I think.
Gotcha.
No, I wasn't. I mean, I always been at O Athletic since I came to Houston. Yeah. More or less, but not really there consistently, but more or less. And once I got into this coaching shit, we started doing some stuff at O Athletic. Then we ended up at J Prince. Yeah. So, but when Zach first came down here, we were at O Athletic, which is where I met Danielle.
Yeah, that's where I met you guys.
Which is where I met you, which is where I met Martel. All that was at O Athletic.
Gotcha.
But we started doing the training stuff. We went to J Prince Gym mostly. Then we ended up back at O Athletic when I met you. That's also when I started doing with Danielle and Martell.
Gotcha.
And all it really was, they were there all the time doing what they were doing, not really getting the attention they felt like they needed to get better in their careers. They saw me and they're working every day with Darius, working with Zach, and they're like, "Man, can we work out with y'all?" I'm like, "Shit, yeah, that's cool. All I gotta do is show up."
Yeah.
How much it cost? Just all you gotta do is show up. I'm here anyway. They gotta pay me to be here. I'm already fucking here.
Yeah.
So, and I also met Danielle years ago. First time I met Danielle, the same way I met Darius, the same way I met Zach, we sparred. And I remember because I was like, they was like, "Man, you want to? Will you mind sparring with Danielle?" Like I don't really want to spar with no female. They was like, "Look, she can handle her own." I'm like, I mean, I'll work with it if you want me to. So I got in that ring with Danielle.
Like, goddamn.
I got in the ring with Danielle. You know, I'm bouncing around, a little jab, little 1-2 here and there. Then boom, she hit me in the mouth with that straight left. I had to step back, and I was like, "Wait a minute." I almost forgot this was a woman. I was like, "Shh, boy, you hit me like that again." Shit, it's all bets off. I'm about to let these things fly. But that's how I met Danielle, the same way in the ring. Yeah. But she hit me. I had to blink twice. Like that's
a girl?
Some boy out there. Okay, yeah, that's Danielle. I just making sure I ain't lost my mind. She hit me hard as hell. I did not expect that. Yeah. So, but that's how I met them. And I just met Martell the same way. He was working out by himself every day, and I used to just come offer him a little advice. He was sparring, I would offer him a little advice. So when everybody else came on board, eventually he was like, "Man, can I just train with y'all?" I'm like, "Shit, show up." Yeah. That's how we built the team.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's the difference between what you said is earlier about how some coaches get upset or some teams get upset if fighters go and train with other camps or whatever. That's the difference, is that you're like, since you're so at peace that you're just doing this to help these guys and girls out, like there's no jealousy in a sense when they go do that. And the problem whatsoever. Is a lot of those camps, they're depending on these fighters for their income because it's their job. Like you said, you do it because you want to do it and you want to help them out. They do it because like they've turned into a career. Now it's their job. So if a fighter leaves and say it's a championship level fighter, they know that money that's coming in from them is going to go with him. And so they get upset, and then you see all these fights and shit like that happen within gyms. But the way you do it is the way it should be. I mean, ideally, you know, like go get work wherever you can, get better. Like I'm not going to trip. Like I'm not going to like possess you. I don't own you. Like go get better. Go get some skills. I'll be here if you want to keep working. Like shit like that. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Was it like that for your career? Like, was your coach the same way?
Or? I really never had one, and so like, it's weird for me. People are like, "Well, weren't you a professional boxer?" I'm like, "Shit, about a title, an unqualified one." You know, I didn't go to the amateur circuit. I didn't learn no. I mean, the first time I boxed, I started fucking around with boxing in Iraq. Actually, like I said, I actually enjoyed Iraq for the most part. Outside of it was some. But nothing too dark for me. And so one of the guys that was in the unit with, he was like, "Yeah, I used to be a champion boxer in Korea, blah, blah, blah." He talking a lot of shit to people. I said, "Man, you can't fucking fight." And I ain't no tough guy, but I don't like tough guys. I grew up in the gangs and the drugs and all of that stuff. And I went the opposite direction of it. But the only part of it that I did take is I will stand on my own too with anybody. Yeah, that's point blank. As you should. Point blank. Period. So eventually, me and him started messing around, and we got cool. And because he happened to be from Longview, I'm from Tyler. That ain't but about 45 minutes apart. So you from East Texas, I'm from East Texas. So we started messing around. But he started teaching me some basic fundamental boxing shit or whatever. And soon as by day one, I could beat him up already. He was like, "Man, you ain't never boxed before?" I'm like, "Nah, I never boxed before." You know, but I didn't understand what a jab was or a 1-2, but I knew how to throw lefts and rights for sure. Yeah, I can do that with the best of them, no problems. So eventually, he started teaching me a little bit, so I started practicing what he taught me. And then I met this other guy. He was from like Virginia, and he's same thing. He saw me hitting the bag one day. Like, "Oh, man, you used to box?" I'm like, "Nah, I never really boxed. I'm just, I learned a little bit. I'm just hitting the bag, just exercising." He's like, well, you know, I've been boxing since I was a kid, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, yeah. So he started teaching me stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I already in that is after I got back from Iraq, right?
I'll try this shit out.
I got back from Iraq. I got back to Fort Hood. Fort Hood hadn't had a boxing team in like 10, 11, 12 years. Or Fort Hood used to have like the number one boxing team in the country.
So each thing has their own boxing?
No. But Fort Hood had one. Mm-hmm. Fort Hood is the biggest army base in the country, in the world. So they had one. It was called they used to call themselves the World Beaters because back in the 80s and early 90s, they were known for. I mean, they was just dominating the amateur circuit, and these were soldiers. So they had this team, but in the late 90s, something happened with the boxing team where they went out to the club or something like that. They got in a fight, maybe jumped somebody or something like that, and somebody ended up injured really bad. And I don't think they died. But they may have damn near paralyzed them or blind them or something. So they cut boxing out of Fort Hood completely. They just shut the whole team down, dismantled them. And so for a lot of years, they didn't have a boxing team at all. When I came back from Iraq in 2009, they put up these signs and these flyers and they sent out these emails about they're trying to bring boxing back to Fort Hood. Yeah. And they were asking for the units to release soldiers to join this boxing program for 1 month. And at the end of the month, they're going to have this smoker tournament, they call it. And soldiers coming from all over, from every base to compete. And they were going to do it on Fort Hood. I happened to be on Fort Hood. I asked them, hey, you don't mind if I join this little boxing program, whatever? They released me to join the program. So I went through this little program for the month or whatever. At the end of the month, we get ready for this tournament. We had to fight like 4 days in a row. So I fight in this tournament. I joined this tournament. Got no boxing experience, no nothing. I'm nervous as shit, but I ain't scared to fight nobody. But I am nervous and aware that this is a fight. Yeah. And people watching.
So it was televised?
The championship was going to be televised. The first 3 days, they had 4 rings up. That way they can have a lot of fights going. No big deal. But on the championship day, they don't have 1 ring up, ring lights, ring walk, music, smoke screen, video, everything. You know, Miss America was there. People from Austin, cause like it had all these VIP people that they brought in to celebrate this little event. But you had to get to that point first. So the first day I fought this guy, you know, no problem. Know who I fought the second day?
Darius.
The guy that I told you was teaching me to box.
The first guy?
No.
The second guy?
The guy I just met from Ohio, from Virginia. So I see him as my opponent on the second day.
And you already know, like...
I'm like, fuck.
Was he, like, he was better than the first guy? Like, he was much better?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he actually knew what the fuck he was doing?
Yeah, for sure. And I was like, shit. But I didn't know how to box. Yeah. So it don't really matter to me. Because I'm just coming to fight anyway. Yeah. And so I remember coming in and he came out the corner. He right-handed. So he come out right-handed. But I remember in Iraq, every now and then he would switch to southpaw. And when he switched to southpaw, it was fucking confusing. Because I don't know how to box already. Yeah. And now you standing, I'm southpaw myself. I'm right-handed, but I fight left-handed. So when he turned left-handed, I'm like, this shit is weird. So he came out the corner. He threw like 1 jab out of the orthodox position. Then he stepped back. He switched stance to southpaw. I was like, you bitch. So he came. He started boxing me. Then he caught me with a good punch. Well, all logic out the window at that point. I don't know how to box. I'm not finna outbox you. So I just started fucking swinging for 3 rounds. And I ended up beating him. Then I won the next fight. And then on the championship day, the dude I had to fight, his first 3 opponents, he knocked them all out in the first round. Damn. He knocked one of them out the damn ring. Damn. So I'm nervous as shit. Yeah, so I'm nervous. And like I said, on the championship day,
everyone's there.
Bleachers filled, you know what I mean? Lights, the music, the concessions, everything. And I'm like, this motherfucker done knocked everybody out. I'm scared as shit, you hear me? So we in the back, we try to warm up. And like, you all right? I'm like, I can't fucking breathe. I feel exhausted. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, man, I'm tired. haven't done nothing yet, but just the anxiety in my mind. I'm like, this nigga been knocking people out.
Yeah.
And they also didn't just have the event live. They had the local TV there.
Damn.
So it was broadcast to the local cities. So it's live.
Yeah, you're like, I'm fuck, everyone's watching this shit.
Gotta watch me get knocked the fuck out. So that's what happened with that. But
you got knocked out?
No, hell no. Hell no. I'm saying that's what happened with my lead up to the fight.
The nerves
I'm like,
and everything.
I couldn't even warm up. Like, it got to a point they're like, man, hit the miss. I'm like, I'm not doing nothing. I'm tired. I'm tired. Y'all about to have me. I ain't even gonna be able to fight.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just the anxiety. So I walk to the ring and I get in the ring, man, that anxiety is killing me. Then I come out and I throw the first punch. I miss. The motherfucker threw a punch back. I said, oh, this a fight. Fuck this. All anxiety gone. I just start swinging. First time I hit it, boom, 8 count. I was like, oh, I'm on your ass now.
Go.
I'm on your ass now. So I drug his ass around that ring to that bell run. Then in the second round, I come out same thing. I'm just attacking. And motherfucking, we didn't have real coaches with us. These just people that had got to work the show.
Yeah.
A towel come in the ring. Somebody threw the towel in the ring. So the referee stopped the fight. It's
that's live.
Yeah, it's over. They're thinking the fight over. Come to find out, it's my corner. What the? Dude done got so excited. He's celebrating like this in the corner, and I threw the fucking towel in. So they had to stop. So they had to stop the.
Fucking dumbass.
They had to figure that shit out, and then they continued to fight. Then in the third round, I knocked that motherfucker out.
Nice. That's crazy. No boxing experience.
None.
Nothing.
None.
Just brawling. Like just straight fighting. That's it.
I just letting them hands go.
Damn.
But after that, that's how I met. That's when somebody was like, man, you ever thought about boxing for real? I'm like, no. But then they sent me to this guy. I went to this guy's house. They gave me this dude address. They knew they shouldn't have done that. They gave me this dude address. He used to be one of the world beaters. One of the old boxers, right? So they sent me to this dude's house. I knock on this dude's door. What the fuck you want? I'm like, for him, send me he said you a box coach. Man, get the fuck out of my porch, man. Don't come back to my house no more. Like, man, he told me I don't coach no boxing. Get away from here. I was like, God damn. So I left. I called like, hey man, you sure you gave me the right address? They're like, yeah, that's the address, man. Don't pay Ronnie no mind. He crazy, man. Just go back over there. I'm like, man, you sure? He was like, yeah, I'm telling you, just go back over there. So I showed back up the next day, and the dude was like, what the fuck you doing, man? I said, look, man, you Ronnie Hughes? He's like, yeah, I'm Ronnie Hughes. I'm like, they told me you were a boxing coach, and they told me to come talk to you about boxing. And I ain't no motherfucking boxing coach. Like, said, look, man, I don't know what's going on, but this is the address they gave. He's like, you want to box? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, he took me to his garage. He's like, you a boxer before? I'm like, nah. He's like, well, you put your hands up, do this. Like, you sure you ain't never boxed before? I said, nah, I never boxed before. He put the gloves on, threw a couple punches. He's like, shit, yeah, man, we can do this. I ain't coached nobody in a long time, but you do like you can fight. I'm like, man, I never done this before ever in my life.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I think shit probably about 2 or 3 weeks. We get us a fight. We go down to San Antonio. I'm like, a fight?
2 weeks, fight.
I'm like, so I started boxing about like not even a month. I was in the ring. And I don't know shit about boxing.
Yeah.
He's like, man, you don't got to know how to box, man. As long as you let your hands go and you in shape, that's all that matters.
That's some old head wisdom right there.
I'm like, God damn, man. But that's how I got into boxing. And then that's that. So
he was rocking with you, like, for the most part? Like, was it him and your brother? And like,
no, he wasn't. Like, that's when I was in the Army. So I really didn't get to commit to boxing. I was still in the Army. So I went with Ronnie. He never taught me how to box. He just, when I was with Ronnie, he like, as long as you in shape, you can punch, you will be all right. But I love Ronnie. He was a cool dude. Crazy as shit, obviously. But he took me to, like, my first 2 fights. Then I got stationed in San Antonio. So while I was in San Antonio in school, there was another coach down there that I reached out to. I started working with him. I went to one fight with him. Then I got stationed back in Fort Hood. I got back to Fort Hood. I was with Ronnie, and we fought maybe once. while I was at Fort Hood.
You're still in the military at this time too, right?
I'm still in the military. So then I was only there for 6 months. Then they shipped me off to Maryland. So once I got to Maryland, I don't know anybody. And so I didn't box for a couple years. I used to go work out on my own, do whatever. But no instructions or no coach. So I just did whatever I wanted to do. Then I got stationed from one place in Maryland. I was getting ready to get out. They sent me to another place to med board me out because I got med boarded out for PTSD. So while I was down there for about 8 months, the coach down there that I went, I'm actually, my brother was living with me. He used to run all the time. Happened to be a dude driving down the street one day like, man, why you out here running? He was like, yeah, I'm just getting in shape for boxing. The dude happened to be a boxer from the 90s. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, I used to box. I'm Thomas Langley. He started, Mark Too Sharp Johnson and all. So he started naming like, yeah, I used to train with all of these. I'm like, yeah, I know all them people. He was like, yeah, well, my old coach, he's still coaching. Old white man, Thomas Langley. And, he was like, yeah, go holler at Tom, and I'm sure he'll take care of you. So he gave us a direction, the address to the gym. So we went to that gym and started training a little bit. And I fought a couple of fights there with this dude named Milton. I can't think of Milton's last name right now. But Milton was a cool dude. But either way it goes, I never had no consistency or no real training. It just been real sporadic. When I got out of the military, I came back home to Tyler, little old East Texas. And I walked into a boxing gym because I heard the Golden Gloves was coming up. I was like, I'm trying to fight in the Golden Gloves. Now, mind you, when I used to fight, I used to be like 185 pounds. For the last 6-7 months I was in the military, I did nothing. But
what is that? That's cruiserweight, right? 180?
Yeah.
Cruiserweight?
Yeah. In the amateurs, it's called heavyweight or whatever. Not heavyweight. I don't even know what it's called. But it ain't. Yeah, it's heavyweight. That's why Darius was considered a heavyweight, but he's not a heavyweight. Yeah, so it was heavyweight in the amateurs. But so I walked into this gym like, man, the Golden Gloves coming up, I'm trying to fight. The dude is like, the Golden Gloves literally the next week. I haven't been training or nothing, and I'm fat at the time. I'm like 227 pounds, which ain't that. I'm about 222 pounds now, so I ain't really fat, but it felt fat because I never been 227 pounds before. Now I've been 260, so this don't feel fat. But at the time, like, I'm fat. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been training. The Golden Gloves coming up in 1 week. And
you're like, fuck it, I'm doing this shit.
I walked into the gym like, I'm trying to fight next week in the Golden Gloves. Dude was like, you can't get in the Golden Gloves in 1 week. I said, man, I'm trying to fight next week. Like, have you ever been fought before? I'm like, yeah. Like, put the gloves on. I said, shit, that's the easy part. I put the gloves on. He put somebody in that ring, and I drug him.
Damn.
He was like, you know what? I can make some calls. I bet you can. I told you I'm trying to fight next week in these Golden Gloves. Yeah. So I fought in the Golden Gloves, and then after that, I ain't got no fights. Fat out here. I fought this one little fight in the Golden Gloves. I was supposed to fight somebody else. They pulled out. They said they didn't want to fight me. So they just gave me the championship. Then the dude that I was not training with, but the gym I went to, he got no real fighters. He's like, man, you should turn pro. I'm like, fuck it, why not? So I was a professional boxer, but with what accolades? It's like going to the NFL without playing high school or college.
High school.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, I saw you in middle school. You look like you was gonna be a good athlete. Let's just put you in the NFL. So yeah, I did, and I did well. I'm 5-1 in the pros.
So you just like naturally had like a skill set that was good for boxing.
That was it.
Did you like watch boxing growing up?
Never watched boxing growing up. I didn't have no I told you I had 3 channels, boy.
And they had Fox Sports too. They might have had a boxing fight on there.
Hey man, I can't tell you one boxing match I ever watched growing up. Not one. Only fight I actually remember ever seeing boxing match. It was after I graduated high school. It was after I came back from basic training in the military, and I was up late one night and boxing match came on. It was Diego Corrales and some Spanish dude. And that fight shows up all the time because that was a fight. Diego Corrales got dropped like 5 or 6 times in that fight. And then he ended up stopping the other dude like in the 11th or 12th round.
Damn.
So that fight pops up all the time. So every time I see that fight, I'm like, man, that's crazy. That's the one fight that I remember watching. Yeah. I was probably like 18 years old at the time. Gotcha. I was out of high school already. So I was 19 because I already went to basics. So I was 19 years old. That's the first boxing match I ever remember seeing.
That's crazy. So you're just like a natural then. Like it's just
that's it.
You were meant to box, like meant to do that shit.
Yeah.
Because you trained with a lot of people, right? Like I've seen you. I pictures with Usyk and
I was in camp with Usyk.
Yeah, you like were one of his sparring partners and stuff, right? How's that? Like, is he? You think he'll beat Fury or how's his skill set? Like,
I think he'll give Fury hell because he negates Fury's advantages. Like even though Tyson Fury is
gigantic,
he's gigantic. I think the most important part of his thing is like mobility and elusiveness. Mm-hmm. And not Tyson Fury, but Usyk is twice as fast and twice as elusive.
Even at heavyweight, you think he carries? Because Fury's fast too, man. At heavyweight,
motherfucker. I think Usyk would give Fury hell. Mm-hmm. And then even with the height difference, people don't understand how much difference that makes. But Tyson Fury is 6'9", mm-hmm. and his arms are long, straight out. Yeah. But the farther you go from 90 degrees, the shorter your arm get. Mm-hmm. So to punch somebody 6'4", you just lost a lot of reach. Mm-hmm. And vice versa for Usyk. If Usyk keep trying to go for his head, obviously he got to get a little closer to hit to land those shots. Mm-hmm. But I think that Usyk would be a problem for Fury.
Yeah. I mean, he gave Joshua the work. I mean,
I was never a Joshua fan.
Yeah. Me neither. I liked Usyk. Him moving up to heavyweight was big. Yeah. I liked that a lot. I was like excited to see what he was going to do over there because he gives a lot of people problems. Their whole camp. I mean, all of them. Mm-hmm. Loma, him, that light heavyweight that was there that lost to who'd he lose to? Was it Butterbiev? Butterbiev beat his other teammate, right? Because there was like 3 Ukrainians. It was Usyk.
I ain't sure, man.
Loma,
even to this day,
you still don't keep up with
I don't keep up with boxing like that. Like, if you even start naming off weight classes, I don't even know what they are. Yeah. Like I know the pounds. I know it's 147, 154, 160, 168, 175. But outside of light heavyweight, and cruiserweight, I don't even know what the rest of them shits are called.
Mm-hmm. I believe it too. I feel like that's like you're in boxing, but you're not infatuated with it.
I'm not. And what I do is study it enough. Like once I committed to helping Darius, I study it enough. I gotta tell them all the time, like what we work on a lot of times is moments. Mm-hmm. Because one thing I recognize, because I've been to a lot of camps, I've been around a lot of trainers when I was pro. Mm-hmm. I'm going to these training camps and being sparring partners, whatever. Hey, coaches can say whatever they want. At the end of the day, if you don't have the right fighter, it doesn't fucking matter. Mm-hmm. All the good fighters have the same basic skill set. You got to find the 1 or 2 things that separate them. Mm-hmm. And that's what I do. Like even with all the fighters I have, we do a lot of the same things. But anytime I work with any individual fighter, I train a little different because I understand that you fight a certain way and you fight a certain way and you fight a certain way. So I don't try to convert you into fighting the same way as Darius. Darius is Darius. And, I got Danielle. I don't try to get Danielle to fight like fucking Zach or Martel. Mm-hmm. Like, I try to individualize every one of them and try to enhance the traits I feel make them good at what makes them them. Mm-hmm. That's how I approach the game. Yeah. So I'm not growing up watching boxing, not being stuck in it. I ain't in the box of like, this is how you should do it. It's like, I'm not you got to throw the jab like this. No, you don't. I watched enough boxing now to know that Floyd Mayweather jab don't look nothing like Deontay Wilder jab, and Deontay Wilder jab don't look
even use jab shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I can't be like, you got the jab this way, that way. I'm not gonna teach nobody to fight like Roy Jones. Roy Jones had a natural ability to fight that way, and if you would have tried to take it away from him, he probably wouldn't have been that good. Yeah, and it's the same with like sprinters. Like I grew up running track and all of that stuff. And some of the fast people I saw had the worst running motions ever. Yeah. This motherfucker run like this. Johnny Thacker. He won every race. I'm like, how can you see the track? It's heavy. But he was fast. And if somebody would have told him, don't run like this, I want you to run like this. He'd have been last place. Probably been in last place. Yeah. So you got to let people be naturally who they are. Yeah. You just learn ways to enhance who people are to try to get the best out of them. So that's how I approach this coaching thing.
I think if you look at the best too, like in boxing, they all have their own style. Like
I tell everybody that.
Everyone has their own style at the top. It's not like they're all the same. They're all different.
Anytime I talk to people that's just getting into boxing, or this thing, like, well, my old coach told me I had to do this or that. I said, who your top 10? I said, who your top 5 favorite fighters of all time? Mm-hmm. You can name off every great fighter. You can name off a long ass list of great fighters. And if you go down a list of great fighters, none of them fight alike. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
If you go down the list of good fighters, they all fight similar.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to be good, stay in the box. If you want to be great, find yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tyson don't fight like Ali. Ali don't fight like Frazier.
Mm-hmm.
Frazier don't fight like George Foreman. George Foreman don't fight like, you know what I mean, Floyd Mayweather or Sugar Ray Leonard or Roberto Duran or Thomas Hearns or Marvin Hagler. You want to be great, gotta find who you are. Then you gotta maximize that shit.
You remember that guy? I mean, since you don't watch boxing or you didn't keep up with it, you may not know. But remember that drunken master? The one that fought Floyd?
Yeah.
Augustine or something like that? Like
Emmanuel Augustus.
Yeah, Augustus. Yeah. That shit, that was one of my favorite styles. Like, I love his style. He was just popping in and out. Just
they robbed him of a lot of fights because they didn't respect it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't respect it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous though. Like that style was amazing to watch. I fucking loved. It was entertaining. I don't even know how you hate on a style like that.
Purists hate on anything that's not pure.
Oh, that's not how we like it. Like,
exactly.
That's not what we intended when we made this sport or some bullshit like that.
It's like, why? Listen, let one of these black guys break through in golf. Who like riding around, who like running around with baggy pants and gold chains on? They're gonna have a fucking fit. They don't care how many hole in ones he hit.
Tiger Woods just need to change up his drip, and then they gonna have a fucking fit.
Boy, Tiger Woods going in the trash. You can do whatever you want with these women, but listen, brother, just don't look like one of the brothers.
Bro, he is a dog. I saw recently. I'm probably putting his dirty laundry out there, but he was on the track or on the field, the pitch. And like he just hit a hole in one or some shit, and like he was walking past this like the crowd, and like he shook hands with this girl that was standing there, and you could see him put his number on a piece of paper was in his hand. He just like shook her hand, just kept walking. I'm like, this motherfucker dumbass.
In the middle of the headlines and all.
Yeah. I was like, bro, you remember what happened like 6 years ago to you? Like you just forgot about it.
I think he actually going through something at this very moment because he tried to stop paying for something that he been paying for one of them girls, and she ain't having it.
Why does he even have to pay him? Like they all wanted that shit. Like what's the charge against him? Like is it like they're accusing him of rape or some shit?
No, this ain't about no charge. This is like just I think it's a girl that he was. I mean, you don't be posting this shit because now one of us know facts. But I think it's actually a girl he actually been fucking with, and he's not paying her for nothing that he's did. Like he was paying for her
to be quiet
apartment. No, he was taking care of her.
I see what you're saying.
And now I guess whatever reason he tried not to now, and she's like, no, fuck that. You're gonna continue doing what you been doing.
Damn, bro, the entitlement is crazy.
Yeah, it ain't even like he did nothing wrong. It's just like, nah, you been taking care of me. I don't care if you want to move on. You're going to keep taking care of me.
Yeah, bro. The entitlement is another big thing I see all the time in this world, bro. Especially from women, bro. Girls are entitled nowadays. Like, can't even try to approach women sometimes because they think like their shit don't stink. And so when you approach them, that's all they give off is like this sense of entitlement. It's like, man, what'd you do? What have you done for you to act like this? Like, why are you talking like this? Why are you acting all crazy and shit like that?
Even beyond entitlement, like I think women just so tired of men. Attractive women for sure are tired of men in general. You know, like I think a woman sometimes want to go to the grocery store to buy groceries, right? So they get tired of going to the grocery store, and every thirsty man walk by want to say something to them, like, "Can I just buy these noodles and shit while I'm here?" So like even for me, when I got stationed in Maryland. That was my first kind of dose of different cultures, right? Different regions of living. Man, I saw different cultures. I was in the military, so people from everywhere. So that was my first real. Up until the military, I thought I had just two options. I mean, three options. You black, you white, and both of y'all Mexican. That's it. You might have got away with white, but that's it. Whatever you claiming don't exist. I grew up in the country.
Yeah.
You black. You white, you Mexican.
I'll be like, I'm Indian. You're like, what the hell is that?
No, you not. You fucking white boy. You know what I mean? So that's just what it was. So, but beyond the culture thing, joining the military, meeting people from so many different places. Yeah, it's when you start to understand. Like I met this girl from Alabama when I was in school in San Antonio, and like I said, I look like this, but I ain't no dummy, right? So I was in school in San Antonio, reclassing to change my job in the military. And after the grades came out, probably after the first 6 weeks or whatever the case may be, they do like class rankings. And they say them out loud. I was number 3 in the class. This little white girl was standing in front of me from Alabama. Little 18-year-old white girl. She turned around in my face and said, I thought all y'all were stupid. She didn't mean no harm.
Yeah. That's just how she was raised. Yeah.
She's like, I never seen no, I ain't never seen none of you N-words with no sense.
Oh my God.
Like,
bro.
that's essentially what she was saying.
Yeah.
And I laughed about it because I was at a different place, mentally. I was like, don't worry about it. It's all good.
Yeah.
And the irony of that is, for the rest of the time we spent down there 6 months in that school, every man she slept with was black.
You changed her opinion on this.
That's what you get. That's what you get for thinking that way.
Hey, she grew up thinking that. Hey. Now she's gonna try something else. She's like, fuck it, I'm here now.
Hey, yeah, for sure. That shit was funny. But like I was talking about, when I went to the North, that was the first time I really realized that Southern hospitality exists.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it's 100%. a real thing.
They're assholes up there.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Like, I go up there, I say yes, ma'am to a woman. Like, don't say that to me. I'm like, sorry about that. What yeah, like I'm an old woman. That's just respect.
Yeah.
My daughters is 5 and 6. Guess what I tell them? Yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, just so they try to grow up maybe expecting a certain type of respect from a man. Mm-hmm. So that was funny.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I think that's a traditional woman. I think traditional women are tired of the attention that they get from men, but a lot of women aren't. A lot of women, they love that shit, man. We talking about women, and then we talking about women. Yeah. Two different things. They are two different things.
Two different things.
Very different, but one is harder to find now than the other. I mean, the one that you talking about is one, you want to find. The one that you see all the time is the other type. I mean, they love it, bro.
You go to listen. I hate the stereotype, but if you go to HEB, they don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to Walmart in the grocery section, they don't mind you speaking to them. Two different places.
Yeah. It also depends on who's speaking to.
You go to Target, you go to Walmart. It's two different type of women.
Yeah, 100%.
Target and Walmart.
100%.
Yeah, facts. But anyway, I got to the North. I remember the first time I held a door for a woman. Mm-hmm. She was an attractive woman. And I seen her walking behind me, so I just held the door and waited. She walked up, and instead of just walking in the door, she's like, I hope you don't think I owe you nothing. I was like, what the fuck did that even mean?
Damn.
I'm like 21 years old, 22 years old. I'm like, men just held the door. I thought that was a normal thing.
That's crazy. That's too much. I would have shut the door in her face.
Go ahead. I just let her go and go about her business, but that was my first dose of damn, Southern hospitality is real.
That's just being an asshole though. That's not even like a difference between being hospitable or not.
It ain't.
Her saying that is like what
her saying that is that I know that men from here ain't holding the door for nothing. Mm. So she don't know I'm not from Maryland. She don't know I'm not from the Northeast. Mm-hmm. So me holding the door look like a ploy.
Like, I'm trying to get your attention or some shit.
But I ain't. I'm just holding the door. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to go in Kmart. I'm struggling at the time. I'm out here in Maryland. Just got to Maryland. Struggling. Went out here, got my kids with me. We living in a hotel at the time. I ain't even got no housing on post yet. I'm at Motel 6. Mm-hmm. I got to pay for this shit myself for now. So I ain't in no fancy hotel. I'm in Motel 6. Mm-hmm. Kmart happened to be across the street. It's about to be Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go put some shit on layaway. And all I did was hold the door.
Yeah.
And hope y'all think I owe you. Now I was like, God damn, this is.
But we don't even think about it here. I didn't even know, like you said, I don't even know it's a thing until I left Texas because it's just normal. I feel like that's normal behavior. You got to be kind to your fellow man and woman. Like, just do simple shit like that. Like, it doesn't hurt. It just makes everyone's day better. Like, you don't think about it. I don't think like when I hold the door, like I'm doing something for this person. Like, I'm just normal natural. Shit. It's like I just hold the door open.
I tell people all the time I'm selfish. Mm-hmm. Everybody, man, you're not selfish. Yeah, I am. Mm-hmm. I hold the door for a woman because if I don't, while I'm walking around the store, every time I see a woman, I'm like, fuck, I should have held that door. It wouldn't have hurt me to hold that door for a few seconds. You know what I mean? I don't do it for you to walk through the door freely. I do it because if I don't, it'd be on my mind.
Torture me.
Yeah, the fuck. Trying to make sure I'm good and sane going through life. I don't do this for you. I do this for me. Oh,
but we'll see how it goes, man. I mean, I feel like just times have changed, so I don't think that's going to be a Southern hospitality thing for much longer. I feel like that's going to spread down here to the South, that kind of behavior and shit like that. I don't think it's going to last because I just see a lot of people from those areas moving to these like Southern cities and Southern states and shit, so they're going to bring all that bullshit with them. I mean,
I think it had more to do with gotta be careful.
You don't have to be careful. You can say whatever the hell you want. We are uncensored. We're on Rumble, YouTube.
I think it had more to do with equal rights than anything. Women want equality than anything. Mm-hmm. I think that had more to do with getting rid of hospitality and respect than anything. Mm-hmm. Because as women want to be equal, they expect a certain type of treatment. But a man is like, if you really think about a lot of shit that's in place from the old days, people don't talk about it, but a lot of it was a manipulation and control. Even something as simple as a woman not being able to open the door for herself is a slight way of always reminding a woman, you can't do nothing without me. Mm-hmm. So I don't believe that it's so much about shit's getting worse. I think that's more as women get the right to do things for themselves, the more it's gonna go away.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a different opinion on that. I just feel like I don't see now. Like back in the day, for sure, like there was things that women didn't have, rights they didn't have that we had as men. But now I don't see that. Now I feel like it's just that it's stretching now from what it maybe was originally purposed for to where now it's just becoming like
a bully tactic.
Exactly. Like it's like, now we have to make men and women equal when the truth is we're not. They're better than us at some stuff. We're better than them at some stuff. Like that's normal. That's how God made us. But the problem is the movement now is like we don't want to accept that answer. Like, no, you can't be better than us at some stuff. Yeah. Men can't be better than us at anything. Like we're equally as good at everything that y'all are. But then women are still allowed to be better than us at other things. Like that's the movement. It's like we can be better than y'all.
It's a bully tactic. But that's what I mean. I wasn't saying that like men are less willing to do it. I think women are less receptive to it because it's not all women. That's a lot of women who really still value traditional 100%. Behaviors from what we heard about growing up. But a lot of these people, once they go to a certain place of independence and take care of themselves, they don't want a man to do anything that they feel like will allow the man to say, I did something for you. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's not even about the man not want to do it. They don't want you to do it because they don't want you. Just like that woman told me, I hope you don't think I owe you nothing. You don't owe me shit. I was just holding the door. I'm not gonna see you 2 weeks later at McDonald's and be like, you can buy me a hamburger because I held the door. Like, you don't owe me absolutely fucking nothing. Mm-hmm. I just did it for myself. And make your life a little easier and make me feel better for making your life just a little bit easier. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think we're on the same page. We might have worded it different, but that's a bully tactic going on by the women, and it's bled over to the community. Mm-hmm.
Goddamn right.
That community.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know what community you're talking about.
That shit's out of control.
They everywhere and they taking over everything right now. They are shit. You talk about them, you done. Like this show's gone. Everything gone. Like my house gone. Everything's gonna be gone. You say a bad word about them.
I got nothing bad to say about any of them, but they bullies.
Yeah,
and they can take that how they want. Mm-hmm. Everybody have a right to be whatever they want to be, but you can't force anybody to like you for being who you are. Exactly. If you are who you are, be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And
own up to the fact that people will like it, people won't like it. No, as long as someone's not coming in your face. If someone's coming in your face and talking shit to you because you're that, punch them in the face. That's it.
You should get away with that.
Exactly, that's it. But if they're not and they just don't agree with it internally,
I don't have to agree with you.
Why the fuck does that matter to you?
Like, I don't have to agree with you, but if I don't hate you or dislike you, then why you bother?
Exactly, man. But the problem is people want to put their feelings and their opinions as facts on other people. Like, it's not an opinion. This is a fact that you have to respect and shit. I'm like,
it's an opinion.
No, it's not.
It's your personal choice.
You want to look at the fact, we can go look at science. This is facts. Like
anything outside of science ain't fact.
Exactly.
And like I said, I've always been a logical guy.
Yeah, me too.
And one plus one is 2.
Yes, that's it.
And I don't want to hear you when you start trying to find a way to make 1 + 1 equal anything else. I don't want your explanation.
No, I saw this interview, and the problem, not the problem, but some of the stupidity that I see is they give like dumbass people platforms and then they promote them to even higher platforms. So I saw this news clip on Instagram today. This complete idiotic woman basically said that she was on Fox. This is on national news, and they're interviewing her, and she's basically saying that math is racist and math is transphobic because it's forcing it's removing objective reality from the world. Like, it's saying that it's making math is not, I don't know how to explain it because it's so stupid, right? I'm trying to wrap my head around this dumbass shit this bitch saying. I'm like, what are you saying? And basically she's saying that maths, because it's a fact and because it's set in stone and it's strict, it's taken away from objective reality, which is racist and transphobic. So she's saying 1 + 1 should be able to equal 4. She said this in the interview.
It should be able to equal whatever I want it to equal.
Exactly. She's saying like 2 + 2 could be 5. She said this on national TV on the news, and she's like, 2 + 2 is not 4. We made it 4, and it could be 5. I'm like, the problem is we're giving these people platforms, and then what's the bad part is kids are gonna see this, and kids are the most susceptible human beings on the planet. You put this garbage in front of them. Some might not let it affect them. Some might not, digest it. Some will digest it. Yeah. They're gonna start believing this bullshit because they're like, okay, this woman on the on my box in front of me says.
So at this point, everybody get 100 on the test.
Yeah,
because my answer was right.
Exactly.
Because I believed it was right exactly when I gave it. So that's all that matters.
100%.
What do you mean it was C? No, I don't believe it's C. It's only C because you wanted it to be C. That's not my reality. I think it's B.
Yeah, it was B for me, so it's B on my test. So
shit.
Don't play with me, teach. Get your ass canceled.
Basically.
That's it. That's the world we live in, bro. Like, and I think it stems from, I don't know what it stems from, man. There's so many movements now, and it's just like, where did it all come? Like, where did it all just go wrong or like start from and shit?
I mean, it started from the beginning of America. America is here because of the same kind of thought process. They came here and decided to break away the British Tea Party and all that shit and don't want to pay tax because they felt like they shouldn't have to. And so at the end of the day, now it's going to be a group of individuals somewhere who want to live life their way. And so that's why we here. That's why we get the luxury, whether we like it or not, no matter how it was formed or how it happened. It all happened different for me, you, and him. But we all here, and it's a luxury for us now. Are we here for the same reason that they doing? Somebody fought for what they thought was right, and they got their way. So it's not nothing new. It's just a new thing for us in our life. But people been fighting for the right to live the life the way they want to live it since the beginning of time. So
were you like, when you were raising your kids, were you pretty strict and like watchful of what they were taking in terms of like TV, phone, and stuff like that? You just
Nope, I wasn't. And I didn't. Shit, my kids ain't watch a lot of TV and stuff like that. They used to watch VeggieTales and shit. So
that's good. I mean, that's some good shit to watch.
And shit. Yeah, but once they got up in the middle school and all that stuff, one thing I say about raising kids, I try to tell people this all the time. Like, you don't really raise your kids. The society raises your kids. Even before the social media, even before the cell phones and all of that, let's say you spend 8 hours sleep, right? You spend 8 hours at school, not to include the hour or so to get ready for school, plus the hour and a half after that to get home from school or to get set. You might see your parents for maybe 2, 3, 4 hours a day max, where you actually may be around them. And even during that time, y'all not really interacting. Like, go to your room, you clean up. Yeah, he reads newspaper, mama cooking, cleaning. So the only people you really spend your time with to be influenced by is the kids that you were around in school. Society been raising the kids since the beginning of time. It's just now society has expanded, because now society is not just those 25 kids in your classroom. It's the fucking world. Now it's the world now. So it's been that way. It's just now they got more influence coming from more places. Yeah. So I never been over strict about over raising my kids. I just focus on the time that I spend with my kids, which I try to force myself, especially when they were younger, spend a lot of time with my kids to try to teach and guide them in hopes that they make the best decisions possible. But like right now, I'm dealing with the same, like all of my kids are older. And like I was just talking to my son a couple of days ago. He's 16. He finna be 16 in a couple of months. and he done started traveling down some ugly paths.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my other kids was like, oh, you know, the Kalen doing this, this, and this. And I looked at him and I said, I don't care. Like, what you mean you don't care? I told my son, I say, I need you to understand that I've been fighting for you for a long time. When I recognize now that you don't care about my voice, I said, with that being said, I only got a few responsibilities. You always going to be welcome to stay here because you are a child. Mm-hmm. I'm going to feed you and I'm going to clothe you. I'm going to try to give you decent things. You know, if you want to play video games and all that, I ain't going over and beyond for you no more because you don't care about my voice or nothing. I said, but just understand the decisions that you make, consequences that come with those, you'll have to live with them. Mm-hmm. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, if you go to juvenile, you end up in jail or whatever, I'm not visiting you. I'm not going to spend hours of my day because of dumbass decision that you made because I know I taught you better. I'm not coming to pick you up. I'm not bailing you out. I'm not spending my hard-earned money because of dumbass decision that you made. So just know I love you the same as I always have, but I understand from raising kids, you the last two, youngest. So I've been through this with the older ones already, and I understand there's nothing I can do to save them. I can only try to guide them. Yeah. A couple of them have made great choices, and they're going in great directions. You look like you decided to attach yourself to a certain type of friends and a certain type of people. Like I told my son, I said, what happened to this friend? Mm-hmm. What happened to that friend? Those friends were great friends. Yeah. Had good families. They go to school every day. They focused on sports. They training. They doing you doing nothing. Mm-hmm. And you was better than all of them kids athletically. Mm-hmm. But I'm watching. I see these kids in the newspaper and everything. Mm-hmm. And you just here at the house every day. Yeah. Well, they busy. Yeah, doing shit. Yep. And you busy here, not doing nothing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And hanging out with people that don't want to do nothing. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, I don't love you no less, but I'm not emotionally attached to the decisions that you make because you've shown to me you feel old enough to make your own decisions, and that's fine. As long as you can live with your own consequences. Yeah. It's funny because you don't learn that until you move out and become a man, because these are the same things my dad told me when I was little, and probably the same things, you know, like your mom may have told you. I know like your situation was different, but for me, this exactly what you're saying is the same shit I heard from my dad. You know, he'd be like, what happened to this friend? Like, why aren't you hanging out with him no more? He was a good guy. He was doing things with his life. You know, he was a good influence on you. What happened to him? Same thing. But until I moved out, I didn't really understand what my dad was saying. Once I became a man, moved out on my own, got my own shit going on, started actually living my life, I really understood what he was saying a lot more. A lot of the things that he said clicked with me. I respected it because maybe as a child I didn't really respect what he was saying, but you learn all this once you have to actually start going through shit. It's crazy, but like the generations are the same. Like it just keeps going like that, because literally echoing what my dad said, what you just said. Yeah, different issues, but it's always going to be issues. Yeah. And they're never going to go away. And raising people and raising kids, ain't no book for it. Because you can like I said, raise all the kids the same. But they all go a different direction. Yeah. Right. At the end of the day, people are going to be who they're supposed to be. All you can do is try your best to put them in the best situation and hope they make the best choices. Yeah. And just live with that. 100%, man. You ready to play some chess? Yeah, whenever you're ready, man. Let's get this game going, man. Oh, shit. I'm ready. Let me see if I can take this out. I don't know about ready. I ain't done this in a long time, boy. So this is going to be difficult just because we got to stay in front of the mic while playing. So I'm trying to... Oh, so you want to talk shit to me and embarrass me on camera. I always talk shit, man. Oh, that's terrible. That's part of my strategy. Shit. There we go. Ain't no strategy for me because I don't even know what I'm about to do. I heard that before, and when I heard that last time, I got my ass whooped. So you have some hope. But you got the remote set up and everything? We're good to go? All right, man. As soon as you give us the green light, we'll start. It's recording already? All right, bet. White goes first. That's a racist fucker you are. You see this? You saw that, right? Even chess has white privilege. It's crazy, huh? That's what it looked like. We need to make some new colors out here. Yeah, damn, I ain't done this in a long time, boy. Which one on the one leg move first? Oh, you want me to tell you? Did I give you advice? Interesting. It definitely is, because that ain't what I meant to move.
Yeah, I feel like that was an interesting tactic.
That was an accident.
All right. Go here.
Yeah, that was an accident.
Let's see. That's actually a good move. Goddamn.
Oh, you think you're slick, boy.
You have no idea what I'm doing.
No, not yet.
Let's see.
Not yet.
Where you gonna go, man?
I'm thinking, boy.
You know you finna lose, so just play it out.
I mean, I might lose.
You gonna lose. Play it out. Put that bishop over there. I know that's what you want to do. You want to put that bishop right there, on that spot.
Which spot?
That spot right
This
there.
spot?
That spot. I know you wanted to put the bishop there.
Why the fuck did I put that there?
I could just tell, man. It's screaming it.
No, that don't look like the right spot for the bishop. It's a different spot I was thinking about putting the bishop.
That same one though.
Huh?
It's gotta be that same bishop.
It is the bishop.
Ah, I see. Damn, so you might know what I'm doing.
I don't know what you're doing. I only know what I'm trying to do. I don't got time to think about what you're doing.
Oh, I got it. I got this.
That's a good one. That's a good one, brother. That was a good one.
You don't know where I'm going. Stop playing.
I don't know where you're going, but I can see that you just disrupted me.
Absolutely. That's my plan.
Yeah. So it ain't about knowing where you're going. You just disrupted me.
Then what were you trying to do? How did that disrupt you? You must be trying to... No? I don't know what you're trying to do.
I don't either.
Interesting.
Oh, shit. Let's see.
It's time now. Getting serious now.
Yeah, it is. This will hold you up for a second.
Interesting.
I hold you up for just for a second. Yeah, just for a second.
All right.
No, good move, Negro. Good move.
Damn, that wasn't a good move.
Well, it was only good for making me think.
Yeah, that's why it wasn't a good move. Fuck. I forgot about him.
You gotta take him. You don't have a choice. So you don't gotta think that much for this one. You got no choice but to take him.
No.
You do have to take him. You don't have a choice.
I can get it out of there.
You can. You can back up, retreat.
That's it. That's it. Sometimes you got to pull back a little bit, you know. Edwin's looking at us like, man, y'all both suck. We'll trade. I'll take your bishop for
That's cool.
my knight. You can have him.
That's cool. Look like I got some funny stuff going on. It's putting me in a tight spot.
Yeah, I played weird too. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing.
Got some funny stuff going on.
Let's see.
Playboy.
Get that queen out of there.
Get it out of there. Let me see.
He's making a racket up there.
Been acting up for sure.
Mm-hmm. He pissing me off. Yeah. Let's see.
Fucking up something for sure.
Yeah, he's trying to get out that fucking crate in there. And tearing the fucking room down, probably. How do I... Oh. Hold on now. Thank you, sir.
Man, it took you a long time for that.
I'm so used to playing on my phone, playing on the board is...
That one had slipped your mind.
Shit. That's fine, you can have it.
Yeah, I don't have a choice at this point, honestly. It's like I had a choice. Well, I ain't no choice.
Let's see. How am I gonna...
That's a good
one. Oh, yeah. Raps.
Yeah, I mean, should wrap it on up then.
It's gonna take some time, though. I gotta set up something. You took my damn night.
Let's see. Trying to see something.
I was about to say. You just gonna give me him?
Oh, I ain't, but even just moving right there. Make you do some work. A little bit. Just a little work.
Okay. How do I do this? Always keep the pressure on.
Yeah,
always.
You want to play tag? We gotta play tag. That's about to happen. You gonna make us play tag?
Come on, play tag with the rook, please. By all means. I have a feeling my queen will win that game.
Not necessarily. You can't really do anything from the position you're in.
That's true. Yeah. I know you're about
to. If I was to just do this, there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah. I can't do this.
Yeah, that's why I said we just gotta play tag.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I'm not gonna move the king.
Oh wait, you're right. Yeah. You just play around.
Gotta put him back in this place.
That's fine. At least I'll take some material.
And that's what you should do.
Yeah, what you gonna do now? Do it again.
Huh?
I said do it again.
Do what?
Move that rook.
No.
Let's keep playing tag.
No, I ain't gonna do that. Can't do that. I gotta move something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't really have a choice but to move something.
I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to get that bishop involved, huh?
Go ahead. You clean that side out a little bit if you want to.
Yeah, is that what I do now?
Yeah, it's the risky business. But the opportunity is there.
Absolutely, it is. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
It is, but I think. Man, why not? It's 3 kill.
Mm-hmm.
Take it.
You said what?
The knight. You want to engage him? Okay. All right.
No, good one. I ain't scared.
You can take him.
I don't have a choice, brother. I don't have a choice, brother. You put me in a tight spot. Put me in a tight spot, brother. I ain't have a choice.
Oh, wait. We're tripping, bro. You were in check.
Oh, you're right. Because you moved the knight. Yeah, put the shit back. We both fucking.
We fucked up. We're drunk, goddammit.
Go ahead.
You were back here. And then when I killed him, what was your next move? Your next move was that.
This one.
And then I put one more. I had one more pawn here.
Yeah, I just
had that. Yeah. And then no, I think it was here. It was here, and then all right. Yeah, so you can check.
Yeah, right. We definitely.
We drunk, goddamn.
But we both fucked up because when you took this and went over here, I was like, well, you put your stuff back in shit. I just gotta do this. I don't really have a choice.
Now we can continue.
Yeah, and do the same thing.
Same goddamn shit.
Exact same shit. All right.
Let's see.
That went. Yeah, I'll say it's slightly different this time.
Mm-hmm. Cause you lost that move.
Yeah.
Do this.
It's funny business going on here. Feeling like I got myself trapped over here.
Mm-hmm. I know I'm trying to figure out how to capitalize on this.
Got to be some.
I got it.
I ain't gonna do that. That's a little hostage situation.
Ooh, damn, that'd be bad. Can't have you do that.
And we got a little hostage situation now. Look, you better win this game, brother.
I'm saying.
I ain't done this in very, 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 very.
You be talking all
long
that shit and then lose.
That's what I'm saying.
2 times already.
That's what I'm saying, brother.
God. Where you going?
Oh, can't go to either one of those. You got them locked down, so I got to come out here somewhere.
Okay. All right.
Let me see. Good one.
Have some fun.
Just a little bit.
Let's get up. How am I gonna trap you? I gotta figure that out.
Here's the question.
Base step. Can't move it.
Oh, you're right. No, that's fine. No, that's a good one.
Yes, sir.
That's all right. We're gonna go out here into the middle of the world then.
Come on.
Let's see.
You still got some hitters back there you haven't pulled out yet.
I know, but they kind of trapped a little bit.
Let's see, where would you go right now? Oh. That's checkmate, sir.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Good game, man. Good game.
I wasn't even thinking about that motherfucker.
I know. I saw you. I was like, where's he going to go with that king? I thought you were going to go that way. Or pull it up. But
even if I went here when you brought this, you was gonna bring this one here. Anyway.
Yeah, but then you could still escape.
Yeah, I had to get out of there.
You had your escape route.
Oh, I said I had to go running.
Exactly. You had to. Yeah, I would start chasing your ass around. But good game, man. Appreciate you for coming on the podcast, man.
Oh yeah, man.
It was great hanging out with you, talking, man.
No problem, man.
Absolutely. We're gonna do this again too.
Now I'm finna go cook.
There you go. Who you got for the fight tonight, by the way?
You don't know what I'm cooking.
Caleb or Benavidez?
I think the only way Benavidez will win is if he stop him.
Mm-hmm.
I think Caleb playing a much better boxer, and I think that he'll definitely win the early rounds. It's just a matter of attrition.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Canelo fight. I
Yeah.
felt like Caleb Plant was clearly winning the majority of those rounds, but the longer it got into the fight, the more he kept ending up on the ropes.
Yeah.
That's when Canelo started doing Canelo things.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're gonna see. It's gonna be a good one, I think. I think Benavidez.
I hope it's a good one because
this
this the first fight that done felt like it had this much
heat.
Yeah, in a while.
And then the next we got Tank and
all of April.
That's
the whole April is lined up. And I wish that Usyk and Fury fight would have came through, but that was supposed to be.
I thought they did sign. What happened?
Hell no. I think it has something to do with the rematch clause. And I don't know if I like it, but I think I respect it.
Yeah.
I think Tyson Fury feel like he's the cash cow.
He is A-side, 100%.
And he know that Usyk will make the most money fighting him, and he don't want a rematch clause. There's no like, oh, if you beat me, you get to fight me again for another paycheck. Like that's it. And from what I read, that's what Frank Warren, which I think is his promoter or whoever, man, I don't know what the fuck Frank Warren is, but that's the statement he had put out, basically that he understand that Usyk trying to put a rematch clause to just ensure 2 paychecks.
Gotcha. Makes sense. I mean, he's gonna make a lot
I
of
would
money
too.
off of it. But hey, we can go ahead and wrap up.
Yeah,
you stopped it?
Yeah, I would.